Hello? Yes, okay. Hello and welcome back to Sarasi Plays The War of the Beard, Total War, where we are in legendary difficulty of Warhammer 2 Total War on the Mortal Empire's map as the dwarves with Grombrindal, the white dwarf. And our goal is to wipe out every single Elven faction on the map. Where we last left off, I had secured the initial starting area, but I was running into some trouble because it looks like the greenskins are here to come after me. So before they do that, I am going to counteract them. Just need to make sure I get the right kind of lord. I think I did this at the end of the stream last time, but yeah, I had totally done this before. That's just the autosave feature. I can't save manually in this difficulty, so... Alright, what do we have up here?
My quest is done. Yes.
And they're only run for 2 more turns, so... There. And hopefully they'll be able to do something before this ends. I just want to make that money. And you all have to heal a bit before we do anything else, so... Awesome, and we're going to get a ton of more growth, so that'll accelerate our ability to not get wiped out here. Yeah. I think I pushed out to start expanding a bit too soon, but we'll just have to work with it. That's legendary difficulty, I can't go back. Except apparently whatever happened when I quit the game last. So, maybe I should go into a bit about the history of the War of the Beard in Warhammer lore. So this is what happened way back in ancient history in the Warhammer world. When the High Elves and the Dwarves first met each other, they were the best of friends. They allied after realizing they shared mutual enemies in the Greenskins, and chaos wasn't really a threat at that time. And so they became the best of allies, and I think it was Malekith himself, actually, who became really good friends with Snorri, the High Dwarven king at the time. That was before Malekith became the twisted monstrosity that he is at this point in the game. What do we have here? Oh, really? Okay. So that alliance lasted for thousands of years, and it all looked to be doing really well. They didn't settle the same places. The High Elves were mostly a maritime civilization. They were mostly on the sea and in ports, and their colonies were all along the edge of the ocean too, versus the dwarves, who were very much a landlocked power. Dwarf trade caravan is ringed by goblin wolf raiders. A stalemate has developed, but the foes refuse to relent. Such a local affray should be dealt with by the local lord, but your intervention could speed things up. So we can smash them, prevent the raid, or let it remain. It really hurts my dowie heart, but I can't afford a public order penalty at this point, and honestly, I haven't been having any risk of losing these fights, so you're on your own. I feel bad doing it, but you know, there's only so much you can do.
You know who I am.
Alright, level up, level up. Yes, definitely that. That'll make him a little bit more viable in combat. What are we missing in this army? I'd like to have more, like, I don't know. Actually, you know what? Let's try to attack that army while it's sitting there. Oh, really? I have military access, so... It's basically free XP at this point. I lost one dude. And there we go.
An ant
Go
on
back
my
to
way.
Renka Hills.
Aye.
And then next turn I should be able to... I feel like my best bet here is to strike out at those folks as quick as I can. I don't know how much I'm going to rely on them. Oof, tough call. For now, since I don't know what kinds of units I'm going to be wanting the most of. Well, actually, let's think about this. What am I going to be needing to fight against the High Elves? Definitely ranged units. No, those things will die before they even get towards the Elves. It might have to be these, because I need to be able to stand up to like Sword Masters and Phoenix Guard. Or maybe I should just focus especially in War Machines. I'll hold off for now. I can't make that decision just yet. Actually, no. Let's get some HP. Sorry, there are fireworks happening. It's a holiday weekend. There's a lot of people celebrating Diwali this weekend, so at least they're having fun, you know. Jeez. It's a little bit jarring to hear that, though, you know. It's a little loud.
I'm going.
I'm gonna build up some walls in that settlement. Get some more money coming in. I've got growth, so that's good. Karazankor states that while all dwarf holds swear fealty to the High King, they are ruled independently. And now we're going to get oaths of fealty. Yeah, +3 public order is going to save our butts in this game. Yeah, it doesn't look like I can get there in time. Shit. Press the wrong button. Oh, jeez.
Monster Slayer.
Well, at least this means that they will attack me. So at least they can go down fighting, right? And I mean, I might get really lucky. We'll see. 9 turns till a rebellion. Less than that, actually, because I have that bonus right now. Let's leave this. Let's not upgrade that fully until I know whether I'm going to keep the settlement. You get a Slayer's Ring. Huh, I really have fewer items than I thought I did. Oh, lots of bonuses, so that's something.
I'm here.
And let's just check our diplomacy situation. Zufbar loves us, but they don't want to have anything but non-aggression, I guess.
Yes.
And they do the Greybeard's Prospectors. It'd be really cool to have the next dwarf faction start there. That would be a really neat starting area. Yes. Ooh, I can trade with the Border Princes.
You have a proposal? We are willing to hear it.
Affirmative.
Awesome. That's an extra 652 a turn. Oh, that puts us much more in the green. Alright, let's end it there. So where did I leave off? Oh yeah, the elves and the dwarves were the best of allies. But then the sundering happened. And why don't I just explain that too? We have all the time in the world. So the sundering is when Malekith, who was the heir of Anarion, who was this great hero of the elves who had fought off the demons during the first great chaos invasion. He was the one who used the Sword of Cain. Ugh, Grimgor's back. Alright, let's fight it. So Malekith pulled out the Sword of Cain and, Anarion pulled out the Sword of Cain and used it to destroy the demon hordes attacking Ulthuan. But the Sword of Cain is basically like corn. It's a different god technically, but he basically has the same aspect as Khorne. God of blood, god of violence, god of death and mayhem and insanity. And the Sword of Cain carries a curse. So not just Anarion, but all of his descendants was cursed. And Tyrion and Teclis are descendants of Anarion and carry that curse as well. And it manifests in different ways for every single person who has it. Alright, hang on. I'll explain that more in a sec once I've figured out how to set up my line. It's a lot of cav. Put these folks over here. Alright, you will go here, you will go here, not here, and then they will go here. So yeah, Malekith, that's where I was at. Malekith wanted to be the Phoenix King because he considered himself the rightful heir. The elves don't actually have a bloodline throne. It's based on this ritual where, well, it's election, and then the person who's elected will submit themselves to the test of Anarion, or of Asurion, who's the elven god of like order and justice. And if they pass the test, which is they have to go into the fires of the Phoenix King and be reborn from the fires, just like a phoenix, you know. And if they survive that, then they will become the next Phoenix King. The problem is that Malekith decided that he wanted to be the Phoenix King more than anything, so he had the rightfully elected one killed, and then basically started a coup with his loyalists, and started to just submit himself to the ritual by going into the fires at the shrine. So what happened after that was the flames rejected him. He burned basically to death. He somehow survived by some miracle. And what happened after that was he... Hang on. I'm just making sure I don't get too distracted explaining the lore, because I tend to do that.
This won't misfire. What a vengeance!
Oh, I always forget I can't pause in this game. And I keep forgetting. Okay, I'm gonna have to focus a bit more for this fight, sorry. Oh wow, Grimgor's almost dead already. That wasn't ideal, but what did I have to do? Ugh. Not the best battle I've ever fought, but certainly a lot better than it could have been. Is that Grimgor? Yeah, that is. He's just gonna die if he keeps coming at me though.
your targets well. Withdraw. Grudge thrower. Anan.
Alright.
Who's glong?
I think we're about to turn this battle in our favor.
It is a reckoning. Nothing can stop us. Dwarf warriors. We demand.
Yeah, they're breaking. Okay, that's good.
Stop us.
I was starting to get a little worried there, but dwarven crossbows saved the day. So Malekith basically cooed because he thought he deserved the Phoenix Throne more than anyone. Killed his rival and started a civil war. And the Phoenix ritual rejected him. He was burned effectively to death. Somehow threw himself out of the fire at the last second, and had to be basically Darth Vadered, imprisoned into a metal suit and enchanted with magic that would keep him alive despite the horrific magical burns that should have killed him. I do not accept the end times retcon of this, where they say, no, it was the fact that he survived that is proof that he was passing the test. No, that's not how this works. That's incredibly stupid. And that's why end times is crap. Let's see.
Yes, Lord.
Yeah, end times is quite disappointing, I gotta say, unfortunately. Alright, we'll just let people fire at will. But, so Malekith, his coup didn't work because he failed the test, and he had to go into exile with the rest of his rebel kin to the frozen Northlands, which became Nagarond, the dark elven kingdom that we now know and either love or revile, depending on your faction preferences. But, so that's the history of the Sundering. One of the problems that came out of this, though, since Malekith survived, he knew the dwarves very well because he had once been friends with the High King. So he organized this horrific plot to drive a wedge between the High Elves and their dwarven allies, and he had a bunch of his minions, the Dark Elves, dress up in High Elven uniforms and attack a bunch of dwarven I don't know if it was, I don't know, he had them attack a bunch of dwarves effectively. The dwarves were understandably outraged by this. How could this be possible that their allies would attack them? So they sent ambassadors to the Phoenix court. The High Elves had in the meantime found a new Phoenix king to be a successor to the one that Malekith had murdered. And the problem was this one had an ego problem. Uh-oh. I'm going to decline to attack that. Yikes. Okay. So, because this new High Elven Phoenix King was outrageously arrogant, he was insulted that the dwarves would even claim that the High Elves had attacked one of their own because they're allies. How dare you? So what he did was he committed the ultimate insult against dwarfkind and shaved the beards off of the ambassadors and sent them back. Said, maybe next time you won't have the gall to make these accusations against us. And it was all a misunderstanding, of course. Like, if the High Elven King hadn't been such a dick, the war might never have happened. But that was what Malekith was counting on. That's why he was so vicious and evil. I don't like Malekith. I have a strong bias against the Dark Elves. I was a High Elf player for tabletop for many years, so take that as you will. Alright, they have that, so I'm just going to charge on forward.
Tear them down! Tear them down! Move now! Move! Charge!
Alright, let's hope that we can hold them off.
How sharp is that axe?
Oh jeez.
Sigma!
Catch them! War of vengeance! Plow through!
Gertrude! Oh yes! Yes! Fine!
Oh jeez.
Still here! Herr Jäger!
How are you losing morale?
Free hand!
Powerless! Vengeance!
So, in response to the, in the dwarves' perspective, completely unjustified shaving of the beards and therefore dishonoring of their embassy, the dwarves opted to declare war. And as a result, the War of the Beard happened, in which High Elves and dwarves fought relentlessly to avenge the dishonor one or the other perceived that they had received. It was effectively a pointless war because it was completely caused by false premises. It was a complete tragedy and resulted in the effectively permanent sundering of the two races. It completely broke the alliance between the two. And there's not too many details as far as I know about how the actual war went. They kind of leave that up to players to recreate as they wish. But yeah, that's effectively how that all went down. So me doing the War of the Beard here is basically trying to put a definitive end to that whole thing. And those two did not work together very well in this fight. Maybe because they were all big guns? That was disappointing. Well, I would have lost them anyway. Yeah, so that's the War of the Beard. And now, in order to avenge that ancient slight and the countless Dowie who were struck down by elves and what in many ways caused the Dwarven Empire to collapse, and the High Elven Empire, though it lasted a bit longer, dwarves tend to have trouble fighting at sea. So the High Elves weren't in too much danger from invasion. And Ulthuan's kind of like floating. So neither the Skaven nor the dwarves can really get to it through the underground. You'd think tunneling into the ocean would be just so simple, right? But you can't do it in this game. I think the pressure and the weight of all that water would probably just make all the tunnels flood too. I imagine most people who tunnel under the ocean end up having issues with flooding of some kind. That's okay, then I don't have to pay for a replacement lord if you finish off that army. Felix is on his own! Oh wow. Killed 165 with those quarrelers though. That's okay. That's more money next turn. I can send that new stack that I just started up there too if I need to. I prefer not to though. I prefer to just hold on to that settlement. A grudge. Great. Forgot about that. I will not accept chaos.
Trouble brews in the distance. Feels like the doom I deserve. With sword in hand, I follow, in the hope that I will live to finish my works.
Alright, we got a cutscene of sorts. Eager to find better opportunities for the Dwarf Slayer's heroic doom, Gotrek and Felix have left your faction to continue their travels. Perhaps in time you will encounter this eccentric mercenaries again, though hopefully not from the opposite side of the battlefield. Ooh. Alright, new quest. Does the White Dwarf commune with the ancestor gods? This is a question oft asked by the Longbeards at the fireside as they drink long into the night. Some say, of course, whereas others believe he is an ancestor god himself, and few think he has no more influence in this area than any other pious Dowie. Whatever the case, there have been persistent tales throughout the ages that Valia looks upon Grombrindal with fondness, and even some sagas proclaiming that they were lovers at the dawn of history. After all, it is her cloak which shrouds the legendary dwarf warrior. And so it was that Grombrindal received a vision from the goddess, a new rune to be sewn into his fine cloak, with thread spun from the hair of dwarven maidens from the temple of Valia in Everpeak. The rune will light the darkest reaches of the Karazhan core and reveal a hidden evil to the dwarf. Alright, so I need to recruit a runesmith. I don't need one. I don't think I can, actually. Oh, come on. I can get a Thane, though. God damn it. I need to build this for sure, though. I need to expand that main capital if I want to have a chance in heck of holding this place. Alright, so that is... Well, if they attack a city with that army, there's no way they'll stand a chance. It's mostly Cav. Though... Oh yeah, that's not an Ragnarok. Those two might cause issues for me, but I can plug up holes in the wall pretty easily with stout dwarves.
I am the White Dwarf.
Ugh. Alright, let's go for it. Yeah, we gotta take this out quick before they start recruiting more armies. Easy. Wow. Those are good buffs. Well, that's the highest rank. And a relic sword, that's something. I'm gonna give that to you. Oh, hello. I'll give that to you too in case one of those orc generals tries to take you. I'm gonna make you even stronger. Why not? Actually, no, I kind of want that recruitment cost bonus. Yeah, we're gonna try to get this all maxed out. Don't know about that. Later in the campaign it's gonna be useful when I start my march on Ulthuan, which is gonna be the hardest part of the campaign. Let's just auto-resolve that. It's a few more losses than I would have taken had I actually attacked it. But, ooh. Grumbling Guard. All dwarfs complain, all longbeards moan, but none gripe and fight half as much as these courageous old gits. Ugh. This army's dangerously exposed right now. Alright, we got Eager Kin, Absolutely Relentless, and Get Up all maxed out. That's good. And Grombrindal's already level 20, and Grimgor's still only like level 5 because he can't win a fight. I think I'm going to be able to hold this. I think this expansion might work out for me. I think I'm going to go for Barak Bar before they start to recruit more troops next turn. Ugh, but do I want to recover my guys first before I expose myself out there? Yeah, I might want to wait for that to finish building. This is in danger. This is in severe danger. what it would have been anyways.
My anger burns bright.
We're gonna get that just to be safe. This is gonna be my Regiments of Renown army, basically.
Armed and ready. Aye.
Alright. Still not in the clear yet. The greenskins. Okay. It looks like the greenskins have gotten most of this, so this is probably Karak Azul down here. At least they're still holding out. And if it doesn't tell you, that's kind of a cheat that you can do this, but yeah. So it looks like the Tomb Kings haven't pushed too far north, which is good. We want to be able to take most of this territory since it's all land that we can extract maximum profit from. But yeah, we got to be careful not to push too far, because our goal isn't to wipe out the greenskins, it's to wipe out the elves. And I do want to ally with the Tomb Kings if possible, because I need to push south to take out there's a Wood Elf faction that's living south at the far south of the map. I need to take them out too, I can't forget that. I'll probably just send a hero down to investigate to see if they're still alive. And if it's worth sending an army all the way down there to finish them out. Wood Elves and Dwarves have a very particular matchup issue. Oh god, they're besieging me. I always get nervous that they're going to try to just starve me out because I can't recruit extra troops to counteract it, and I don't want to fight them in the field because they have so many cavalry. You saw what happens when I try to fight them. Hopefully by the time they take the big mine settlement, what's it called? The one up here. If they manage to take that, then I'll have most of Barak Var in my hands by then. I'm really counting on that. Because if I can get that port, I can start getting trade agreements with everybody. Alright. I can make his army stronger. That's not that good right now. That's only good if you're like invading Chaos Wastes. That only buffs him. Yeah, this is the only one I can actually see myself using for most of the campaign. And then 7 turns till I've got much better public order prospects. That's good.
Vengeance.
What are my odds here? Not actually great. Alright, we'll see if they'll take the bait and attack us. Because inside the garrison, we'll hold them. Behind these walls, we will outlast them. And get Pillars of Grungni up to top tier defenses.
The dwarfs need me. Don't you fret, it's done.
Alright.
They shall tremble. I am the White Dwarf.
Okay, I'm just gonna take Dolkaraz this turn because it's right here. Oh, wow. I overestimated that. Okay. Okay, we're just gonna march all the way up there. Yeah, this way we can take that before they... While it's undefended, effectively. Because with 9 troops, I can take that. I'm not at full strength, but if I can get a capital city, I can hold this region effectively indefinitely. Because this place is not going to fall very easily. For some reason, I seem to have that impression. They're gone.